Okay, I think we're live. I think Dami is here. Let's see what comes up. We got everyone back. Are we back on board? Hi, hi, hi. Heaven in Maid. Hello. Heard it on the grapevine. Little DM. Lolly Johnson. Okay, view. Let me see if I have a request here. Whoa. Dami Im. Let's try this again. Ladies and gentlemen, waiting for Dami Im connecting. Hi!
Oh my God.
How are
So
you?
hard.
Oh, look, it's the COVID-19 way of TV and connecting with people now. I'm giving you the biggest kiss. I want to give you a hug. It's
I
so
know.
hard.
It's so weird, isn't it?
It is
It's
weird.
like,
Can I give my little intro to you, because I know you'd be humble. You wouldn't say like, I'm amazing, I've done this, I've done that, but I just want to, there'll be tons of people who are on now that know who you are, but for anyone who doesn't. So this is the gorgeous Dami Im, who's a very, very good friend of mine and an amazing singer. So I've been looking up on your website. I've been looking up on your fans' website. So a bit of this text I grabbed from those because it sounds like official. It's not the way I would say it, but Dami Im is a Korean-born Australian singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, performing artist. Im won season 5 of the X Factor Australia with Team Minogue in 2013 and was the first X Factor contestant to follow up a #1 single with a #1 album in the ARIA charts, which is Australia's official music charts. Im achieved the highest Eurovision score for Australia in Stockholm in 2016, singing Sound of Silence, winning the jury vote and coming fourth in the televote. Tell me if I get any of these details wrong, because as I said, I'm pulling from websites. Most recently, you were a contestant on Australia's Dancing with the Stars on Channel 10. And you've got a ton of music, and I've got so much I want to talk to you about, and there'll be even this to talk about later.
oh my God. Yes. Yes. We have to talk about that. We have
Has this
boxes
been a big part
at
of
the moment.
staying at home? And Noah, your gorgeous husband, you taught me how to cook these Korean noodles. And I remember you saying, they kind of don't have them all the time. Like, there may be healthier things to eat, but
Yeah.
man, they are good.
Oh, but Noah does eat them all the time.
Is he
I
still eating them every
realized
day?
almost every day he'd go like, oh, I just feel like a noodle or something. I'm like, again, of course you do. But they're the best. They're the best, especially if you eat it with kimchi, which is like a Korean vegetable, and also you must put an egg in it. I've taught you that too. Have you remembered to do that, Dannii?
I know. The first time I completely messed it up. I left it in there too long, but like 90 seconds seems to work amazing. The
Yeah.
last 90 seconds, crack the eggs in. Oh my God, it's just heaven. It's so good. So how is I remember when we were doing X Factor, I was so concerned that you had so many hours away from your family and also your husband. What's it like being cooped up with no one 24/7 now?
It's really it's nice. It's nice, but my mum's stuck with us here as well. So, any guys out there stuck with their mother-in-laws, I don't know what that's like for you, but he's handling it really well. He's handling it well, and mum's handling it well, and we get along. We go for little strolls, each day away from everyone. But it's we get along pretty well. So
can I say hi to your mum, Helen? She and her gorgeous friends cooked us the most amazing lunch when we came to your house to film X Factor, and I'll never forget it. Her girlfriends did this beautiful traditional dance. You were like totally embarrassed. You were like, Mom, what are you doing? It was
I know.
the best day. The crew loved it. We all loved it so much.
No, I remember they were like gushing at one of your friends or your, I think Nathan, and they were
Right.
like, oh my gosh. You were like, oh, you see a movie star. And that was, I think, I was really embarrassed about that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so weird to do that.
Oh my God. No, it was the best. And they did this beautiful traditional dance. And speaking of dancing, somebody who at X Factor, you had your own like way of moving around the stage, and Square Division, I don't know if they're tuning in, but the most amazing like creative directors. And
Yes.
I'm sure there's moments you hated me and hated them, thinking, what are they making me do this week? Like one day it was coming down from the ceiling on a piano. I think that was your first
Yeah,
performance.
that was the very first one.
We had you doing dance routines with girls dressed as bumblebees. We had you doing singing with water, real waterfall behind you and going all over you. Like,
Do you, do you remember in the rehearsal for that one, I nearly drowned in
yes,
the rain? It was
yes,
actually so funny because I'm going, because back then I thought, even if you drown, you have to keep singing. And I
keep
didn't
going, keep
realize
going.
you're allowed to stop in rehearsals. So I was just like trying to sing through, like it was Purple Rain, and I'm like Purple Rain.
Oh,
Oh.
blah, 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 blah. I know you step back and the water just went, it's like in the shower when it goes all up your nose and down your throat. It's like,
Yeah, I'm like, is this what's meant to happen? Is this what singers have to put up with on television shows? And they're like, no, 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 no. It was
um, I mean, mostly the trick is just keep going. Mostly. I mean, did you see
yeah.
Elton John recently performing in the real rain outside? He was doing one of the Vineyard tours, and he kept going till halfway through the show. The rain was coming sideways. I have
Oh my
no idea. I
God.
mean, I guess it wasn't even safe for the crew, so someone came out and said, cut, we've got to, like, we have
Yeah.
to stop here.
You'd get electrocuted, wouldn't you?
Look, I'm sure it's built
Uh,
for outdoor stuff, but someone put a
yeah,
pin on it.
wow.
And because it
Pro.
was his last tour, like he wanted to keep playing, and it's just
Yeah.
in you as a performer. Um,
Yeah, you just want to finish it.
so you
I
had,
tried. I tried. I wasn't
yeah.
Elton John. So.
You were amazing. You're amazing. You're so loved. Cutting, I'm going to cut back and forth, but the Dami Army was so important during that time of the X Factor, and they have supported you during Eurovision. Their website is damiarmyofficial.com with the hashtag Dami Army.
So much research. I'm impressed.
They're so great. And there's a quote from you on there, on this website. And it says, never miss any opportunity that comes your way, even if it is outside your comfort zone. And there's no one that I know that more, it's more true for them. Like you were playing piano when you came for the audition of X Factor, but wanting to be a pop star. You've then gone on to do Eurovision, like totally out of your comfort zone. Dancing with the Stars, totally out of your comfort zone. Like it seems to be that is a quote it's so true for you. And being a good friend of yours, I know that, but the Dami Army, they all know that about you too. And you're so inspiring. Like they're the greatest fans ever. And big kisses to all the Dami Army out there. The best, the best, the best, the best.
They've been incredible, like really, through, X Factor, that's when they all came together, and then they stayed on to support me. I think they're the ones that really got me through Eurovision and like held my hand through it all. And
Yeah.
then when I was recently on Dancing with the Stars, like I should have, like I really am not much of a dancer. You already know that.
I think you've
But
got your own
I
style.
lasted way longer than I should have, which I am very grateful for. I did 7 weeks of it because they just kept voting for me. So each
And a
week
big
I'm like,
shout out
okay,
to
it's gonna be
Shay,
my
your
last
dance
week.
partner, who was incredible.
Oh, Shay, yeah, he was so good. He was very patient, I have to say, and we spend so much time together. Like every single day for 2 months, you know. So, you know, and he made me look like I could dance. So it was big task.
What's the hardest thing you've done? Is it X Factor, Eurovision, or Dancing with the Stars?
Gosh, I mean, I think Eurovision was you know, mentally quite hard, but overall, I think nothing was harder than dancing. Like, that was way too hard for me. Like, I just like, you know, I'm glad I've done it.
That you're going to keep on? Did you learn anything that you're going to keep on in your life from the dancing?
I've learned that I can learn a routine if I really had to, and if I had the pressure to do it on TV. I've also learned that I am actually worse than I thought I was. Self-realization, like, oh,
that's
okay.
like fair enough. It's not just swaying from side to side, singing your own song. It's like, this is Foxtrot, was it, that you went out on?
The last one was, oh yeah, it was a foxtrot and a paso doble. Yes,
dramatic.
Oh my god! But it did remind me so much, Dannii, of our X Factor days. Yeah, just like being there every week, and then you know, the judges give you all this criticism or praise, which, you know, I got a lot more praise on X Factor, I have to say, way more than dancing, because obviously I can sing, I can't dance, so that was a given. So that, like, you know, when I was on X Factor, I think I was a little bit like, oh, you know, I'll be here for a few weeks, you know, like once I was in the final, I was like, yeah, I've got Dannii, and, you know, I can do this, like, we'll keep going.
You got the Dami Army.
And the Dami Army. Yeah. But on dancing, I'm like, okay, this is how it feels to do something that you're really not good at. And yeah, each week I felt it. I was like, what are they going to say this week?
Oh my god. Does it hurt more, or like, is it more confronting to get a bad comment for something that you know you're good at, or was it harder to be totally out of your comfort zone and get a comment for the dancing where you felt like you tried so hard all week and then you get a bad comment?
Man, the thing was, with dancing, I kind of expected they weren't going to just praise me, because I knew like I was good enough for me. Like, I'm like, wow, I'm amazing, like, knowing myself, but I still knew it wasn't a great dance compared to, you know, like all the professional people or the other dancers on the show. They were just like next level. So I kind of got used to being like slammed and like, oh, like, you you look like an, you know, I don't know. Oh, Craig said once, he was like, oh, you're like, that was so great. You look like a drunk person at a Christmas party. I was like, what? And then 1 week, this is really funny. 1 week they wanted to say something nice to me. I think they really wanted to be nice to me.
Right.
But they couldn't, because they saw my dance. So they were like, that was a really great dance for you.
For you.
And the next person said, oh, that was my favorite song. Oh my god, me too. So it was actually quite fun.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't do it because I hate being picked up and flipped around. I love dancing. But
would you ever do it, Dannii?
It would be, it'd be so hard.
You would be amazing at it.
I would enjoy all of the rehearsal bit, and I would enjoy the costumes, and I would enjoy the music. But to do something spectacular, you have to get picked up and do lifts and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that was so hard. That was the hardest one.
That's like spiders for me.
You're slim, you're petite, like that. They would
not
have
that's the problem. Anyone petite watching, when you're small, people just walk up to you. People who don't know you, and they pick you up
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's frightening. And so many petite people I know, they just have this absolute fear of being picked up, because you'll just be standing there. Someone might come up behind you and swoop you off the ground, and you turn around, you're like, I don't even know you. It's surreal. So
this
respect
the
the little
common
people.
experience for shorter
Stop just picking us up.
I've honestly never heard of that before.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a real thing.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And that's why I just like, even my hands will start to shake thinking about it. Okay, I want to talk about your music. So you're born in Korea. You came to Australia at about
9 years old. Yeah.
9 years old. You went to school, you were learning English, and your mum is like an amazing opera singer and classically trained, and you were learning just the piano or a bunch of instruments at that stage?
Piano, and then I was sort of teaching myself to play violin and flute. Yeah.
Okay. And then I heard you were known as piano girl at school, and there was an audition for some performance, and you really wanted to be a pop singer and you wanted to explore singing, but you were so damn good at playing the piano. They're like, no, we need you playing the piano in this performance. And so it kind of, I've spoken to you about this before. It's like it ignited something, this passion. Like you knew you were good at playing the piano, but you knew you had something else to fulfill for you inside.
Yeah.
Like, how did you navigate at school, learning English, and fitting in?
Yeah, I think, being able to play the piano really helped, because when I first came to school, it was like nobody, I couldn't speak to anybody because I didn't understand, and I was always the one who couldn't do anything. Like everyone was good at something and I wasn't, because I couldn't talk and I just looked like an idiot, like something was wrong with me. And then one day I had the chance to play piano at one of the school assemblies, and everyone looked at me like, oh, like I could tell people were surprised, and that gave me like this sense of like pride and, some kind of dignity for the first time. So I thought, okay, this is what I've got to do. So I really stuck my head down, went to the Young Conservatorium, and that's where I trained on the piano. Then I kept thinking, okay, I'm going to obviously become a pianist when I grow up. That's my only way. That's the only thing I'm good at. But secretly, I actually didn't love playing the piano. I only did it because that was what I was good at and was being praised for.
Yeah.
What I actually wanted to do was something else, and I wanted to sing. So that's when I started to record myself on this crappy laptop at home. And I was really arrogant. I thought, oh, singing's so easy. Like people just use auto-tune and software things to make themselves sound good. And so I thought I could do that and make myself sound good. But I realized when I listened back, I really sounded horrible. Like it was not nice. I was like, what's wrong with this? Like something's not right. So I kept re-recording it and putting like effects on it, and I still sounded
your musical
really
heroes at that point were like big singers, right? You were listening to vocalists that had huge voices, and you're comparing yourself with them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I wanted to sound like, like I wanted to, like, that's Hero, which is the song that I sang for the
audition.
Yeah, that was one of the first songs that I tried to record myself sing, and I just couldn't do it because that's a really hard song with all those runs and big notes, and I couldn't pull it off back then, but I really wanted to do it. So I kept recording myself on my computer, like I'm talking about like hours and hours for years in my bedroom, while I thought the family couldn't hear me because I shut the door and I was like,
oh, honey, you have a very loud voice when you're singing those big notes. There's no way.
They heard everything. Like,
Wow. So what did it feel like when you got up and did the X Factor audition? There's a live audience of, I don't know, 2,000 people, judges, and you sang that song Heroes. So what was going through your head at that time?
I just thought, you know, I was used to singing at my local church by then.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sang at church, people were so nice to me, you know, they were like, oh, isn't that lovely, dear? You know, that kind of thing. But when I sang, or when I went on that stage for the X Factor and I said something, like I thought I was really funny and nobody laughed. That was when Ronan asked me, what can we expect from you? And I was like, awesome singing. And everyone went,
that's
really?
right. Oh my God.
Quiet? Everyone went so quiet. And I was like, whoa, tough crowd.
But you have to understand that the two people who came up before you, that they thought they could sing. And,
oh my God.
and I think I asked one of them, I'm like, I don't know if you're hearing what everyone else here in this audience is hearing, because I think it's two different things.
Oh my God.
So you came on at a very
Yes.
particular time. So I think you got to give the audience a break, because we were like, okay, it was just like person after person after person.
I didn't realize that, but yeah. So, but do you remember? Okay, no, that guy, the guy that was before me,
Right?
I sat with him the whole day before I went on stage, and he was surrounded by his friends, and his friends were going, "Oh, he's the best singer among all of us. You know, we can all sing, but he's the best." And I believed them. Like the whole day, I was like, oh, "Okay, oh my gosh, they must be really good." And then he went on, and I was like, "Oh." Oh my gosh. But that makes so much sense now that you told me like that. Yeah.
There was a whole lot of confusion going on, a whole lot. But I'll never forget the end of that performance. We were just like, wow, everybody was in love with you. And it just went from then on, like, incredible. We're still in love with you. You've had like a lot of music out, singles, albums. You've done a lot of live performing. I saw a really cute thing just the other day, the Aussie Pops Orchestra on YouTube with John Foreman, and it was like you and a bunch of other singers and all people playing a full orchestra, but all staying at home. How did you get that done? How does that work?
That was awesome. I love that project. So John Foreman came up with the idea because he has his Pops Orchestra.
Yeah, we love John. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's the best. He's a genius. And he sent out these tracks saying, you know, would you be interested in being a part of this thing where you know, we all sing virtually. So yeah, basically I just received the track and I sang the whole song to my phone. And I sent it to him. And the next thing, he's put together this incredible clip. I was
first up.
Yeah, I was blown away. Because like when everyone did their own part and didn't realize what it was going to turn out like. So we finally got it. It was like, wow, it's, you know, like even like it made me cry because. It
made me cry. I have to say, it made me cry so much.
No, it's like I missed everyone. Everyone's locked up.
I know. Well, I saw you're doing Sunday sessions on Instagram.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, I started doing that since last week when I came off dancing, and I'm like, what do I do now?
What do I do
now? But yeah, I sang this hymn that it's a song that I couldn't get out of my head since this corona happened. Like for some reason I kept singing this hymn, I Surrender All, and I thought, okay, I've got to record this, and I put it up at Sunday sessions, and I think people just needed something to hold on to, something to give them hope. And you know, like for me that song's about not being in control but letting God being in control. So I think a lot of people who were Christians or non-Christians, they are all really, I had really great feedback from it, because I think people just needed to hear that kind of message of hope. So
yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter what religion you are. You could tell that it was such a pure intention from you, coming from a beautiful place, wanting to share and wanting to create some healing for other people. And it was just so, I'm getting emotional thinking about it. So beautiful. And I know that you've spoken to me about being a Christian. You've taught me things, and I'm curious and asking you questions. And one of the things that you've spoken a lot about, which I think you found through your church, was a charity called Compassion, and you sponsor kids. I'm not sure if they're all in the same country or in different countries, but maybe you can tell everyone a little bit about Compassion.
Yeah, so Compassion is a charity that lets you sponsor children living in poverty around the world. And I heard about them when I was 17. So I thought, oh, wow, like I'm just a uni student, but I can actually help somebody living in a terrible condition somewhere far, far away, that, you know, I couldn't do it myself, but this charity lets you do that with the sponsorship. I started sponsoring my child in India, and I started dating Noah, and I made him sponsor a child as well. I'm like, yeah, they're really good. And when I won X Factor, Noah was the one that was like, hey, you know, we should reach out to Compassion and do something with them, because we really love what they do. So we actually, I became the Compassion ambassador, and we flew over to India to meet our Compassion kids. And, you know, seeing them in real life, it really put things into perspective. And I realized also the sponsorship, like how much impact it had on these kids and their families. You know, they were living in, you know, like tiny houses with horrific conditions, but they were able to go to school and, you know, get health care through Compassion, and get fed and education. And really we were investing in their future so that their family had something to hold on to and a hope to break out of that chain of poverty. So
because if one of them can go to school, then they can eventually break the chain of poverty and lift up the whole family, and sometimes a village,
the community. Exactly. So
how many kids are you sponsoring now?
So we kept adding more each year, and we are up to 8 Compassion kids, and we stopped there. But I think then we got to go to Uganda and Philippines twice to visit all of them. And it's just been really great just seeing, you know, like that.
You did a massive trip after Eurovision. I know.
Yeah.
It was straight after that, and you had booked this trip in a long time ago, and you kept your word, and you went and you met with the kids. So after you sponsor them, you keep in contact with letters and stuff like that. You have a photo, you choose the child, you sponsor them, you keep in contact, and then, I mean, can anyone go and meet them, or is it just because you're the ambassador?
So you write letters to them, and yes, you can go and meet them. Anyone can apply to go and meet them. A lot of my friends have done the same, and they were saying it was just life-changing, because like when you do these kinds of charities, you feel like, you know, you're just sponsoring a piece of paper, right? Even if you get letters from them, it doesn't hit you until you actually see them and you go, oh my gosh, like it's a person. And the funny thing is the children see you and they go, oh my gosh, you're real, you're a person. So it's both ways. Yeah.
You're like the angel arriving from Australia.
They're very appreciative. And we took them out for lunch at a local restaurant, my Compassion child and his mum. And, you know, it was the first time for them to eat outside
Yeah.
at a restaurant. So, you know, all those things were just like, wow, it was like amazing memory for me, but for them as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember you saying it was pretty confronting for you because the conditions there are certainly so different than what we're used to, like basic health needs. Like, can you explain when you went there the things that you were that were most confronting for you?
It's just seeing, well, in Uganda, I remember there was this village, it's like a slum, and all the children, there were so many children there just running around in the slum with bare feet. And on the floor, there's just dirt floor, like muddy. And there's like chickens running around, and then, which is cute, but there's the water going through, this stream going right through, and that water comes out from the local hospital, and the kids were just playing there. And they told me, one of the adults told us that when it rains, it gets flooded, and some kid in the village drowned like only a few weeks before in that disgusting water. And yeah, but the adults have no choice because that's, you know, they have to go to work, and the kids, that's the only place they can play if they don't go to school. So, you know, just, I think the best thing is that they need to be able to go to school. I think that's the safest way to keep them there. And yeah, and Compassion did that for the kids, and they were sponsoring a lot of the children within that slum. So
Yeah,
you know, there was hope still bubbling through even in that horrific condition.
yeah. Well, I'm so proud of you. They're like your little kids, Noah's little kids. And if anybody out there is interested, I think there's a link from your website and the Dami Army official website to get to
or you
that.
can go to compassion.com or .com.au if you're in Australia.
Yeah, perfect. So Dami Im, thank you so much. I just want to say you're an absolute beauty. You're an absolute joy. There's so much more to you that people will discover over time. I remember saying to you on X Factor, like, we're making you sing all of these crazy pop songs, but you know, there will be time where people get to discover amazing things. And I remember saying to you, you'll go back to your classical piano. You performed Flight of the Bumblebee. Like, that is very, very hard. I'm doing like chopsticks on the piano. Flight of the Bumblebee. I think that's on YouTube as well. It was for an anniversary for an amazing film called Shine, which was about an incredible pianist.
Love that movie.
And I mean, it's so good that there's all these different things where you can show your talents. I don't even know what will be coming up next, but one of them I'm really, really happy to say is that you I know it might seem like a shallow thing. Like I say, you're beautiful and you do like amazing modeling. I mean, looking through all the photos that you've created over the last few years, absolutely incredible. And I would say that I've been on some shoots with you and it was not your comfort zone. I hope that you are feeling so comfortable with it now because you are incredible at it, and that other girls just get to see your beauty, and that everybody shines in their own way. Do you have anything to say to young girls out there on that topic? Because I think it's incredible. As you going back to that quote, like any opportunity that comes your way, even if it's outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, I think actually, Dannii, I have to thank you because you're the one that really encouraged me in the first place that I could do modeling and, you know, feel beautiful. And, you know, I of course, like many other girls, like I do struggle with my self-image and my appearance, but I think it's that confidence when you believe that you can be beautiful, and when you can just own it and love the skin that you're wearing. I think that's when people believe that you're beautiful. And you know, I think it's really important that you do love yourself and love your appearance as well, even
But
if it
doesn't
might
it
not
help
be
when you see,
conventionally.
if you see great pictures of yourself, or you and somebody else comments and says, you know, wow, you look great, it starts that that confidence building. But also if you see someone that you can relate to, and I remember we had a little conversation that, like, in Korea, a lot of the pop music industry, the singers look the same. They're all like tiny, and they look very the same. A lot of them have had
Yeah.
cosmetic surgery to even look the same. I remember going to a K-pop concert with you in
Yeah.
Seoul,
So,
and I guess it's like you thinking, well, I want to be a pop singer, but I don't look like that. Therefore, like, you know, where does that leave your confidence? So it was amazing for me to finally like peel back all of the layers to understand where that came from, why you didn't have that confidence. Because I'm standing in front of you going, but you're one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen. How can you like not see what I'm seeing?
no. Yeah, no, I did struggle because, you know, I grew up watching K-pop and I don't look like them, you know. There's a certain beauty standard that, you know, that I grew up watching, and I didn't meet that. And I didn't see that in Australia either. Like, people that look like me aren't on television, you know. So yeah, that's something that I'm like really proud of right now, because, you know, even when I was on Dancing with the Stars recently, I knew I wasn't the best dancer, but I was the only Asian girl on that TV show, or the only non-Caucasian on the whole show. You know, that made me so proud, and I'm sure there's so many people in Australia with different backgrounds that watched it and went, oh, okay, you know, that even subliminally just realizing that they belong here in this place.
Yep. Well, you even did a beauty campaign a little while ago. There were like all these different beautiful women, and you were one of the faces in that. I can't remember, maybe a year or two ago, and you were doing this modeling about, you know, just accepting who you are. And I feel like the world has come so far. There used to be like one ideal
Yes.
beauty, and I felt like pre-social media we only saw what we saw in magazines or on television, but now because of social media and people are uploading videos or interviews or photos of themselves, we get to see lots of different beauties, and we get to see these people being confident, and they might not be confident 24 hours of the day like you and I are not. Like, we might go, yeah, I feel great now, or, you know, really proud of that. But it's not to say you feel confident every second. It's not that Insta life, but it's definitely incredible to see different faces. And you are just, as I said, shining light musically, beauty wise, and I don't mean that in a shallow way, and as a beautiful person inside and out. And just want to thank you for everything. And we'll do a wrap up because I got to go. But say hi to everyone. There's people watching from all over the world, and like your fans go all over the world anyway. So say a big hi to them before we go.
All right. Thank you everybody who tuned into our chat. I hope that you stay safe and also healthy and happy during this strange time. But let's all be positive, and let's help one another, be kind to one another. And also, I want to say a big thank you to Dannii for having me today, and always being such an angel to me, and believing in me and saying all the nice things all the time. I love you.
Well, I love you so much. Send my love to your family. I'm looking forward to Sunday sessions. Lifts me up, lifts so many people up. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Rest your tired dancing feet, and just let everyone know what album you have out at the moment before we go.
Okay. So the most recent song that I released is called Marching On. I wrote a song about my mum and her journey and how brave she is, and Crying Underwater and Kiss You Anyway. They're all my singles, my babies. And I am working on an album to be released this year as well. And I think I've got the time to do that. So,
yeah.
yeah. Check them out. Come on my YouTube channel.
Check out on YouTube all the videos. The one with your mum has original footage of when she was holding you in her arms as a tiny little newborn, has the most incredible wedding footage in there, everything. Deep, beautiful lyrics. So yeah, everybody get involved. Check out the YouTube, check out her music. And Dami, we love you. And I'll speak to you soon. I'm glad we got the technical side worked out.
I know we got there in the end. Say hi to your family for me too.
Will
Say hi to
do.
them.
Will do. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was Dami, one of the most gorgeous girls ever. Before I say goodbye, I wanted to quickly say to you about music. So I've had time to look at a few different things. And I was looking on Spotify, and when I went to my page, it says, you know, other Spotify listeners also like. And there was a list of artists. So I wrote down all of the artists' names, and I've gone in and I've made a Spotify playlist if you want to check it out. These are apparently all the people that you like to listen to as well as me. It's just over 2 hours of music. Let me know if you want me to swap out any of the songs. Sometimes I put in not their biggest hit, but my favorite song. But let me know if you want me to add or change anything. I hope that you like it. Thank you for joining in. Colombia, hello. Don't lose this feeling. Jody, hi. Hello, everybody. I can't believe I have to go, but thank you. And I will be doing some more Insta Live, and I'll do one where it's not an interview, where I can just grab people and say hi, because I know you like to do that as well, and I like to contact you. So love and kisses. Good morning, Australia. Good night, UK, or wherever you are. And big kiss, and thank you to Dami, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. You keep marching. Oh.